Right, good evening guys, thank you for joining me tonight. So I'm just doing a bit of a later stream today than I normally do, purely because we've had the kids off school today and I've had them at home to take them shopping to go and pick up some presents for Hayley's birthday. So we've had a little bit of a shopping morning, and then I have managed to scratch myself to death trying to chop a bit of cherry tree down today, so I'm definitely looking a bit worse for wear at the moment. So we're just going to come back in and do a bit of a pick up where I left off on the last one. So I did a lot of poly painting, so we did the tabletop accessories, we did all of the candles, the feather, the little rat minion down the bottom, all of this good stuff on here. Did all the gold on the sofa and the red cushions, and I'd already previously painted her up, so she was already kind of at the state she's in now in terms of coloration. So we did the pose on her to get her in position, and tonight there's a bit more sculpting to do. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to put a couple of cushions under there. So if you look at the look at the picture in the bottom right hand corner, this is the concept done by Alex Acuna. So a very good piece of art, by my opinion. Definitely a fan of Alex's. So Alex is working with us on the Crystal Collapse game as well, so he's been doing all the concept art for that. So hopefully we'll start seeing more of his stuff going on, and hopefully I'll get a chance to work with him a little bit more on some future projects too. So let's just lock in on this. What's it zoomed in on? Okay, it's being weird at the moment. Well, I think I've sorted it right. Yeah, it's alright. My pivot point was a bit off centre and I don't know why. Not to worry because it's sorted now anyway. Okay, so we're gonna do best way of doing this skirt. Let's see. I do need to like solidify her body, and kind of like all of these kind of rough groups I've got here, I need to kind of break them apart, well, not break them apart, merge them together, blend it all in, get a bit of sculpting in there just to kind of smooth it all together. But first I'm going to do the skirt so it looks a bit more finished. So we've obviously got, you can see a lot of leather straps and things going on. I asked Alex to take a bit of influence from Lulu from Final Fantasy VIII for the outfit, and this is what he came up with, so I'm quite happy with the overall look. Let me find the picture so I've got a larger copy of it on the screen as well. Okay. Well, so while I'm talking about it, I might as well show you what I'm talking about. So we've got all the straps up here. So the top few are going to be buckled up, and then the ones further down we've got them loose and open. So a couple of them are straps on this side with the buckles on this side, and then a few on the opposite side. So they're not all symmetrical. There's not, you know, trying to keep it a bit asymmetric as often as I can. And down this side we've got a couple of crosses on there, which I think they're just in there for the details, to be honest. So I'll probably put them as like little stitched on patches or something. Up here we've got a couple of little signature clasps that Alex likes to use. We've got no objections, I quite like the styling. We'll pop them in there. And then obviously we just got to do just drape into it, so hanging over the edge of the cloth now. I'm going to opt, I think, in this case to do a I'm going to do like a polygroup, not polygroup, I'm just using random words at the moment. So my plan is I'm going to take the a cube. So I'm going to chuck a cube into the scene. I'm just going to find that cube. Oh, there it is. Wasn't that hard to find. Right, so let's bring the cube in. Okay, so I'm going to pop this roughly where I want it. Okay, and we're going to use some let's turn dynamic perspective off, it's going to screw me over. I'm going to use some move tools for a minute. I'm just going to kind of pull it to shape roughly. And then I want it to go down behind the leg, behind the top leg, and drape in between the legs at the top. So I'm going to put my dynamic topology on. This will help to give it a little bit of form, a little bit of shape. Hey Kev, how you doing, matey? Kev, what are you talking about, matey? Bed at this time of night, 9 o'clock. You really are an old git, aren't you? How's things anyway, sir? You've been keeping well? So this is really rough at the moment. I'm just going to try and get all of this kind of shaped in. So I kind of want to push it to the point where I can see the skin and then knock it back again. I can build it back from there. So just a very slight, there we go. Although that's way too low down, isn't it? So let's carve this right all the way up to the top of the file. That's it, that's about the right spot. We're going to come down here then. Oh, you're not well, mate. I think everybody's been a bit worse for wear lately, haven't they? But I say even Bunker's had a bit of the old COVID as well, hasn't he? So he's not been well too. I'll be feeling better soon, matey. I say feel free to drop in any time as well when you're on the if you're on the streams. But yeah, the Instagram stuff's all the old stuff, mate. At the moment, we're just going through trying to showcase everything we've done. So all the stuff people may not even have seen for a long time. So if it picks up some sales and starts driving us a bit of traffic, should be lovely. Okay, so bum's already protruding out now. Yeah, I feel you on the sore back thing, mate. But most people with kids will be feeling you there. So yes, this isn't painted. This piece isn't at the moment. This is just a standard. This is just a polygroup. Oh, hang on, no, that is the colour. It's been applied to the mesh, but we'll sort that out in a minute. That's not the right colour, but that doesn't matter. Not right now. It doesn't matter. Kev, we'll be seeing you at ChillCon again. You making an appearance again this time? We'll bump into you in KFC afterwards. Right, so that foot is going to be. Yeah, I really loathe having to clean an airbrush out. And mine just clog all the time. I don't know. I'm certain I'm doing something wrong with them, but I am not savvy enough with an airbrush to really know what the hell I'm doing. So I'm really, whenever I use an airbrush, mate, I'm just winging it and hoping for the best. And as long as I can get a primer on, I'm usually quite happy. But quite often you'll find me swearing at my airbrush because my primer's clogged. Although I will say I think my bottle of primer is very much past its best now. It seems to keep clogging up the nozzle every time I try and pour the like the nozzle of the paint tub. So I've got a feeling my paint is not the best. So that's never going to help, is it? If your paint's a bit thick and claggy, and if it's clogging up in the bottle, it's definitely going to clog up in the airbrush, isn't it? In fact, actually, I did try. I'll show you a quick. Oh no, I can't show you because it's not even up here. We got my brother-in-law did his what do you call it now? I think I've got a photo of it. You know the Primaris Marines from McFarlane, the big ones. So my brother-in-law got one of them for his birthday. No, not birthday, Christmas. Well, his birthday is at Christmas, so it's kind of neither here nor there. But point is, he got one of the McFarlane Space Marines. I've been helping him to get it painted and get it ready. So it's been a little bit of a project for us to both work on. And we used I can't remember which contrast paint it was now. Warlock Glow, I think it was. We used that as a green to kind of like spray on for the Dark Angel green. And we did multiple passes on it, and using that neat out the airbrush, it actually worked really well. So I think probably the issue is the paint rather than the airbrush at this point. I don't even find my Google Photos to show you. Oh, there it is. There you go. That's where we got to on it. So this is my brother-in-law painting it under my kind of instruction. So we've still got lots of. Oh mate, I think the problem is it's the big bottle of polyurethane primer from Vallejo. It's the black one, and whenever I try and squeeze it out of the bottle, the nozzle of the bottle's getting clogged, and I keep putting like snotty, stringy bits of paint out of it. So I'm pretty sure there's an issue with the actual primer itself. I've got about a quarter of a bottle left, and I think I'm just gonna have to, like, you know, just call it and bin it basically. Yeah, I helped him do the gun, so I helped him with the scroll here and the light thing. I was showing him, because he's never painted miniatures, my brother-in-law hasn't. So we were talking about, like, this is like trying to teach him basic painting principles. So just like, you know, highlights, glazes for shading. So we've glazed like we've glazed black over the green to try and like gradiate the armour a little bit. So, you know, various different panels they've had the glaze passes and stuff on. We've still got to do some edge highlights, and then we're going to go in and do some chipping and stuff and some weathering and get a load of that kind of stuff happening. But yeah, he's shaping up quite well. He's coming together nicely. It's interesting painting something as big as that as well, because it kind of stretches what you know and what you can do. It takes it into a different realm of hobbying. You know what I mean? It's not the same as painting miniatures, is it? Do you know what I mean? Cheers, Kev. He's fairly happy with it. He's pretty, like I say, he's never really painted minis or anything before, so he's new to the whole thing. But obviously trying to teach him everything as I go, and, like, you know, trying to remember what I've, you know. He keeps looking at me like I'm some kind of wizard when I do all these like little techniques and stuff, and a lot of the time I'm winging it and trying things out on the fly. That's what you do a lot of the time, isn't it? Experiment. see what's going to work out for the best, and then apply the stuff that works. The stuff that doesn't work, you forget about it, and try to forget about it and never go back to using it. So, Elston, how you doing, sir? Hope you're keeping well, matey. So I need Bunker, Rich, and who else normally shows up? Oh, knackered, mate, knackered. I've been chopping down a cherry tree yesterday, and then today, all the half a cherry tree that I'd left piled up on the lawn had to be disposed of. So I've been hacking that up and chopping it into pieces and mashing it down and stuff like that, trying to get it into the wheelie bins. And it's just been a chore, if I'm honest. It's been an absolute nightmare. So I'm glad it's all done, but it has left me absolutely aching and destroyed, and really kind of in need of a good hot bath and a sleep, I think. Oh mate, this is what all my days are like lately. I've got this patio around the back of the house, around the back of the office. I need to get that sorted soon, because Hayley keeps nagging me to get it finished. So it's one of them, when like candles and bath salts, mate, you are not wrong at all, mate. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it properly. Yeah, so like I say, this patio area at the back, we had to knock down a World War II air raid shelter, big brick one, to get the office in. And I always thought there was no way that thing was ever going to protect you from a bomb, until I tried to knock it down, and then I'm convinced you'd have survived everything but a direct hit from a nuke. So that thing was like virtually invincible, but we got it down eventually. And I've got all of the rubble from it, and bear in mind it was like 3 bricks thick, reinforced with rebar all the way through it, so it was a beast of a shelter. And I've got all this rubble from it that we've kind of had to deal with, so I've decided to use it as hardcore to build a raised patio. But then it's one of those jobs that's just so huge, and like our garden is like how long are we talking now? Probably maybe 60 metres, about 60 metre long garden. There's no rear access, there's no side access, so the only way into the garden is through the house. So we've got any building materials that are delivered, they've got to be delivered to the front drive, and then I'm going to have to handball them through the house, down the stairs, so I can't even use like a wheelbarrow, because the steps from the house to the back garden. I'm going to have to wheel it through the house, down the stairs, or carry it down the stairs, and then carry it the 60 metre length of the garden, because we're dealing with the furthest part of it. And I'm not reveling the idea of even actually having to do it at any point really, but I know I've got to, or I'll never hear the end of it. But there's just so many jobs to do, man, so many jobs. Let's just have this going round here a little bit, give it a bit more of a shape. Yeah, exactly, man. This is the thing. I need to dig foundations, because we partially knocked the bunker down, and we left the outer wall of the bunker about 4 bricks high for the height of the patio at the one end, and I've got to carry that wall on as a retainer for the rest of the patio. So I can't just carry the wall on because it's grass and mud and everything else. So I need to dig a trench from the wall for the rest of the length of the wall that's going to be. I need to dig a trench, I need to pour concrete in, I need to level the concrete so it's got a good foundation to build on, Then I need to start building the wall off that and key it into the existing wall. So everything about it's a chore. There's nothing easy about this. The only kind of like upside of it is that I'm using like recycled bricks from the bunker to make the wall. So I haven't even got to kind of really worry about the like the cost of the building materials or anything like that at the moment, which obviously is a good thing. And then if I've got enough bricks left over, I might be able to make myself a little pizza oven. Mate, I've already got the buckets, mate. I've done so many of these kind of jobs now. I've got the, you know, the big gorilla buckets with the rubber ones with the handles where they flex together. But the problem is with these kind of things, it's only really me to do it. There's I never really have any reliable help for any of these kind of things. Like my dad would normally have helped me with these kind of things, but because he's not been well, he's got his he's suffering from Parkinson's. I'm like going around to his and helping him do the jobs. And although if I need guidance and instruction from him, any advice on it, he's good for that. But obviously in terms of like physical graft, I can't turn around to him and say, "Can you come and give me a hand lugging?" You know, what was it like? I think I had this sand and cement for the office, and it was about 120 bags or something like that to do the footings and the foundations. So yeah, not fun. Oh mate, I'd love a stair lift at the moment. I think I'd get a lot of use out of it. Although I do feel the kids would probably enjoy it a lot more, and they'd be riding up and down all the time, and you'd never get a look in. And they'd be arguing over it as well, so you'd end up having to, like, you know, beast them into shape and stop them from fighting about it. You know how kids are. What's this one back there? Do you know what? Actually, that's going to be. Yeah. So, oh god, have I stuffed this up? No. Right. So this is going to be the front of the skirt, the front edge, the leading edge, the outside. So I need to put a solid seam there. It does, mate. It does suck, but you know, it's, we haven't been able to get reliable help since like COVID, have we? Do you know what I mean? With the whole lockdowns and everything else. I'm used to doing a lot of these kind of things myself now, but obviously the obvious other choice is to get somebody in and have them do it, but I know it's going to cost a fortune because of the lack of access and stuff. Nobody else is going to want to haul stuff through my house and down the garden on the Todd. Not as a manual thing, you know what I mean? So okay, so where are we at? So that bit is getting there. So let's put some. Trying to create some folds and wrinkles in the skirt. So this bit I couldn't really do until the furniture was in place, because it obviously relies on the furniture being there to be able to kind of do the drapery. You know, it would, mate, but the whole point at the moment is I'm just trying to save the cash, to be fair. I'd love to say I was rolling it, but we live in a very expensive part of the country, unfortunately, and the houses around here are not cheap. And obviously when we bought it, we were both in, you know, full-time professional work and everything else, and everything was all, you know, just regular wages and stuff. And then obviously we both now work for the same business, but, you know, for our business, and it's, you know, if I was doing like 100 grand a month or something like that, I wouldn't be complaining. You know, even 10 grand a month I'd be absolutely fine with. But until things pick up a little bit better than they are at the moment, I want it to make sure it's, you know, we're not spending frivolously on things we don't need to. So sadly, it's the hard graft for me. Like same as skin or anything. I mean, I'd rather not spend the money if I don't have to. So this lot's going to have to be booleans. A little bit, but not really. I need to get stock ready and stuff. So I have got some stock ready. I need more stock ready. Is what I need. And I really need to this week get that final trophy finished off for Steve and Jojo. So I can get that sent off, and they can get they can start prepping the trophies for the painting competitions. It won't take me long to do it. It's just trying to find the time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going again. I'm looking forward to doing the show. We'll be bringing back the Lucky Dip again. I'm just going to try and decide what new stuff out of the range I need to start dealing with. Yeah, I'll take some Ifrits. I'll take a few of the what do we call it? The Barbarian as well. But if I'm honest, I think what I might do is I might just load the cabinet up, and if people want extra stuff, I'll just take orders for it, because I can ship it cheap enough in the UK anyway. So I'll just offer people free shipping if they want to order something that's not in the catalogue, not in the cabinet. So anything I've got in stock, I'll give them a deal on the day, and anything that they want that's not in the cabinet, then I'll just print up when we get back and ship it out when we're done, just like it was a store order. It's starting to look good. Right, this bit there, let's do. Oh yeah, and I've been playing a lot of the well, a bit of the Baron's War. Really enjoyed it. So trying to get into that a little bit more at the moment as well. But then I've also been watching Nightfall. Oh, good to hear, Kev. You're on me, mate. Let's hope they don't screw the food up this time. I'll definitely be there, so. Oh yeah. The guy on the horse. The Rockabos are a bit of a tricky one, man, because they're quite. I'm quite limited in my printers at the moment. I haven't got that many printers running, so I haven't got that much space. The Rockabos, as you know, they're quite meaty things, aren't they? You know what I mean? They're quite big and hefty. So they're going to be quite, what do you call it? They're going to take up quite a lot of printer space and print time. So to get a few ready, it's going to be kind of like, I know I'll sell them. I'm not worried about not selling them, but obviously it's like, you know, I'd like to get a couple of sets ideally, but with everything else going on, it's whether I get a chance to get them knocked out or not. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll get some. Let's put a bit of Dynamesh on here. Always. Mike, how are you doing, sir? Hope you're keeping well, mate. So you caught me on an unusual stream here. Only unusual in the time, of course, obviously. But But yeah, let's say I'll be there and I'll be ready for it, guys. So obviously you can come and see what we're up to. Yeah, no worries, also, mate. I'll be the same soon. I'm only going till about 10:30, so another hour on this for me, and I'm gonna have to knock it on the head and call it done. But thank you for joining me anyway. I'll be back on tomorrow for a normal stream, by the way, as well. So tomorrow's just, you know, standard Tuesday fare. So night, man. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, she's my Kickstarter model, so I'm gonna have her ready for a Kickstarter project. So if you'd like a copy when she's ready, just hit me up offline, mate, and I will quite happily send you some files over. You can give her the old Mike Disney once over if you like. No worries, sir. So I'm just trying to build up some form here. Where I've got all these wobbly bits, I don't like them like that, so I need to go back in and just do some like correcting. So rather than just let the folds do what they want to do, I'm just going to go and nudge and adjust and just create those ridges manually. So she's going to be 75mm piece when she's finished, so she's a display piece rather than a miniature. Well, the last one did quite well, mate. I said a Barbarian, when I took her to Kickstarter, she did around, I think it was about £3.5 on the Kickstarter, and that was for like just one model. So it's, you know, it was a really good return. Like I say, if I'm doing it on a commission, I'm talking like what, 400 quid for a commission. So to make £3 for, you know, something I would potentially be selling for 400 quid. Although to be fair, that one would have cost somebody a bit more because there was extra work went into it with the polypainting and everything. All the bits I've been doing on this one, the stuff that's there for presentation, you know what I mean? It all helps to sell the file, to sell the model. I think when I did the Barbarian one, I'd been doing a bit of I've been watching a bit of Vikings, I think, so there was a little bit of Shield Maiden coming out in that one. Whereas this one, there's no real inspiration on this one. It's kind of like, you know, I've said this is what's yeah. Well, the last one, there was I did the not suitable for work editions as well. I'll be honest, I don't think like there was that much of an uptake on them that it really warranted it. I don't think, like the extra effort I put in to do them, I don't feel like was worth it in the end. So I'm not sure I'm going to do it on this one. Let's just check this out now. Let's. Right, so this needs to be the same colour as her top. I'm not convinced that's the right colour at all. I think I'm kind of well out on all the colours. Trying to figure out where this shade of green belongs. I think I preferred it lighter, but still not sure that's right. Let's just separate that out a sec. Right then. You know what, maybe it's because I need to correct it with the polypainting. I think that might be actually. Oh. No wonder it wasn't working. Bunker, how are you doing, sir? You keeping well there, matey? I'm saying it's only going to be a short one tonight, mate. So I'm only going to be on for about another hour. Because I'm wiped out at the moment. There's tree felling and yard clearing and all that stuff that's just nerfed me today. Plus shopping with the kids, of course. They got a new a new bubble tea place in Solihull in the shopping centre in Touchwood, and my kids love bubble tea. We normally have it from a place called Yakinori, which is a little Japanese restaurant in the shopping centre, and they hustled me for a bubble tea today, and 2 bubble teas cost me the sharp end. It's a lumberjack song. Oh, while I was chopping the trees down. No, I wasn't even using an axe, Kev, you'd be disgusted, man. I was using a saw. Like literally a hand saw to get all the big tree down. I didn't chop the whole tree down. I just had to like lower it because it's we've got an apple tree and we've got a cherry tree, and they're both, well, they're both ridiculously big, basically, and you can never harvest the fruit from more than about a third of the tree. So I know Kev's disgusting in it. Who uses a saw to cut a tree down? Me. That's it. But yeah, so like, we can never get the fruit from the top 2/3 of the tree, so it all ends up falling down or getting eaten by birds or wasps or whatever. And it just becomes a problem, you know what I mean? It's like our patio ends up purple because of all the birds eating the cherries and then crapping on the slabs. So I thought, right, I need to top these trees down a bit so they're accessible, and hopefully encourage a bit better growth as well. So if they can focus on the fruit in the smaller part, we can actually get a decent harvest off them. Not that I complain about the apple harvest. The apple harvest gives us apples for months usually on that thing. It's massive. But yeah, it's been a fun couple of days. But I am like aching now. Oh, so here we go. Whenever you do drapery, always polish it and clean it up a little bit. Don't just leave it to chance. Make sure it's following the curves you want it to follow. Just pry the surface there. Okay, so that's going to need to be booleaned out, so deal with that later on. Let me just nip this bottom bit out. To do here ideally is I want this to go from there to there like that. Right then, and then this one I need to hollow out the bottom of. You don't always have to worry about stuff like this when you're doing a miniature, but when you're doing a larger scale one, you need to make sure the drapery makes sense. Because people will paint it and people will spot if it's wrong. worries, Kev. Thank you for joining in anyway. Thanks for stopping in and saying hello and gracing me with your presence. Very much appreciated. I'll catch up with you soon, matey. I hope you're feeling better soon as well, mate. What's going on over this side then? Oh mate, she's much better now. Yeah, she never took any of her bloody medicine then. Little monster. Absolute stubborn as anything. Bloody mindedly refused to take any of it. Every time we tried to hide it in something, she knew it was there, even if we were subtle about it, and you know, never made a song or a dance. But luckily she's improved. So the only reason they gave her the medicine was because obviously it's tonsillitis, so they don't normally prescribe anything for tonsillitis. But because of the strep A going round at the moment, they were concerned that, you know, they wanted to make sure that that wasn't a factor or a risk. So the medicine was kind of a precautionary thing for strep A. But luckily she's just improved. She's just better now anyway, so she's all good, mate. How's your nipper coming along anyway? She got her wheels through yet? Or are you still waiting? I think last time we met, we had a chat about it. I think she was they stuffed it up and put the control stick on the wrong side, hadn't they? And had to go back and redo it. That's cack then, isn't it? Well, I think I can start painting this now. Almost. So ours has only just begun, mate. This is our first half-term day this week. So we've got the whole week of the kids being off. So plan is tomorrow, just a normal day for me. Wednesday I need to, because we've got Hayley on gluten-free diet at the moment, because we think it might be contributing to some of her issues she's been having. Because it's a birthday on Friday, we normally get her a birthday cake. We'll go for a shop bought one, but because she's doing gluten free at the moment, I need to bake a gluten free cake for her with the kids. So Wednesday is going to be a cake day, I think, with a little bit of sculpting work going on. Oh, speaking of sculpting work, by the way, I've done one of the ghasts to go with the ghouls. I had to get up early this morning, so I did it this morning while Willow was eating her breakfast. So I had to get up early. Willow woke up early and was kicking off because she wanted a phone, and I'm like, it's like, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning. No, you're not having a phone to watch YouTube on. So rather than get into a battle with her, I brought her downstairs, and while she sat quietly watching a bit of telly, I thought I'll fire up my tablet and do a little bit of sculpting. So I thought I'll save this one for the stream this evening, and I'll just work on the ghasts and get the ghasts ready. So yeah, the one's pretty much done now. Right, what we're going to be doing around the back of this. So I don't think I want too much going on around the back. Get that bum smoothed out so it's pleasing to paint. Right then, so I need to take this now. Get that in there. Couple of little creases in the elbow. Got a little anomaly going on up here, so we just need to smooth this out so this bit. Little artifacting. Right, this may not be a big drama here. There's a bit of a weird thing going up on her shoulder, but at the same time it's completely covered by the feather mantle, so I'm not overly concerned. I was still looking for names for her, by the way. I was still taking votes on it until the Kickstarter page goes live. So if anybody's got any ideas for what we should call this lovely lady, I'm open to suggestions. I can't remember who made it now, but I saw a really nice one the other day where they suggested that obviously she's a warlock, and her pact with her patron was basically that she could just give her the powers and abilities and stuff that would allow her to just take things really easy and chill. So She's just like path of least resistance Warlock. So no fighting for her, just drinking tea and reading books and chilling in a bedroom. I quite like that because it kind of fits her visuals, doesn't it? I don't know if any of you watched the 7 Deadly Sins. I quite like the idea of making her a bit like Merlin. But like she's actually like a really, you know, she's like a child or something like that. But she's like super intelligent and has picked an older look to be taken seriously. But maybe not quite, you know, not quite so young. Or maybe she just is young. She looks quite young, doesn't she? Maybe she's like a teenager tiefling or something. Although I suppose you've got to be careful with the figure though, haven't you? I suppose with that. You don't want all the pervy ones jumping on it. I quite like the 7 Deadly Sins, to be fair. It's a bit cheesy in bits, isn't it? You know what I mean? But it's like, for what it's worth, it's quite a decent like fantasy adventure show. I'm just not keen on some of like the costumes and stuff they've designed for like for a lot of the characters. To be fair, a lot of the costume design and stuff like that's quite So it reminds me of like the old, like late 80s, early 90s kind of animes. It's not a style I'm a big fan of. Okay, so where are we at then? So we've got a sleeve, we've got a top, we've got sleeves. I need to be adding belts. I need to add a couple of cushions in, so let's get the cushions blocked in. Let's save this so it's... Yeah, I like the whole thing with Meliodas and Elizabeth, where he keeps like sticking his head in her boobs and stuff, and when she's not, you know, when she's not watching it. But there's a lot more to it than that, actually. The more you watch, the more you kind of realise there's a lot of extra stuff that's gone on that you're not aware of. And some of the stuff that looked cringy early on, actually, by the time you get later on, it kind of makes a bit more sense. I think it's one of them things. I think more people need to watch it and give it a bit of a chance. I think because it's worthwhile watching. Right, let's give this some local symmetry on the X, Y, and Z. Let's do it all. Just for quick and speediness. Turn polys off on this one because it's messing with my eyes and I can't tell what I'm doing. Okay, so this is going to be like the cording around the outside of the pillow. And we'll put tassels in the corners. I think we're going to have to, let me just double check this actually, that might be a bit thick. Yeah, the cording's way too thick on that. Let's shrink that down, let's inflate that. That should be okay, I think. Okay, let's just redo the dyno mesh and everything on that one. We're going to come in, turn off my symmetry. Actually, let's leave Z and X on. Sorry, Z on. Which will, yeah, back to front. So I can do the side ones here. I'll do the rope effects here on the side with Z on. I'm just going to come in with the build-up brush now. It's a bit thicker on the outside, which I don't really want. So I'm going to have to do some adjustment to get it leveled through. It's all just minor tweaks, really. You know what I mean? There's nothing too significant to deal with. Could also do this with like an inflate brush, I suppose, and that would still do the job. I'm playing a bit of Breath of the Wild Zelda this afternoon or this evening with my son before bedtime. We managed to finish the last of the shrines, so we're on to DLC shrines now from the Champions Ballad pack. So pretty much all that's left to do now is beat the last boss on it, and we've 100%ed the game pretty much. I say 100%ed. We haven't 100%ed it. We've still got to find about 700 Koroks. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're missing out on a brilliant game. So Breath of the Wild 2, The Tears of the Kingdom's coming out in 12th of March, I think it is. Jake has been eagerly awaiting that since November, when it was announced. It was supposed to have come out in November, and then for whatever reason they pushed the release date back, and he was gutted. He was proper gutted. So now that they've re-announced it and it's come in and it looks like this one's set in stone, he's just chuffed. Nah, mate, we've only got a Switch Switch and a PC. So I used to have the Xbox, but I haven't had an Xbox since the 360. So. No, I have Steam on my PC. Not that I get a lot of gaming time in, of course. I mean, fairly recently I've picked up a few things that were in my wish list that have popped up on sale. So I've got about half a dozen games sitting there unplayed at the moment on the Steam account. I just don't have time to play them. Though I'm quite content playing Breath of the Wild, if I'm honest, because like I say, Jacob loves it. I enjoy the game. It's nice for us to play the game together, isn't it? You know what I mean? And like, you have that like bonding experience with the whole thing. Dude, I don't even know what ground it is, mate. It's like when you haven't done your own work and do you ever stream your games, or do you just keep that for yourself? Just keep it offline? I mean, I have contemplated doing a little bit of game streaming, but I don't know if it's worth mixing streams. Do you know what I mean? Just keep it as sculpting and miniatures, and everyone knows what they're signing up for. Then, do you know what I mean? Start mixing games in there. It can lose its appeal, can't it? Oh yeah. I suck at Minecraft, I do. Jacob's quite good at it, but it's all this redstone stuff. I don't get it, man. Right, colours this cushion in purple. So I need tassels for the corners of the cushion. Even though at the moment it's not going to quite fit, but we'll make it work. Two-hour-old tea, nothing like it. Delicious. Okay, so let's look for something tassely to go in the corner. Up there then. Hey Rosie, how you doing, mate? Is the music helping? I've not got anything on if you're trying to sleep, man. I'm gonna be going to bed myself in a bit, and I'll be almost. How is this 9 million points? That's never right. That's better. That was killing me, computer. That was those tassels, like millions of polys each. That's ridiculous. The only problem when you use like off-the-shelf, non-optimal stuff. So. There we go. Your daily bedtime kiss there, Bunker. There we go. Let's make that tassely. I need to do a knot at the top of it, so we'll do a little sphere appendix. Position that a little bit lower. Okay, now I want to isolate them. normal brush. Okay, so we've got one cushion, and we're going to do a copy of that, duplicate that. And we've got the second one. The second one's going to come up, and oops, it's going to rotate back, and it's going to be bent in half a bit, I think. So where our elbow is, we're going to bend it up. We're going to bring it up into the corner more. So let's just mask lasso, it's come to about here where our elbow is. Bring this manual up to there, correct it out a bit. Right, let's go transparent on this, turn this off, and I want to reduce that down. Increase it. So that's coming in. It's going down. Right, now this bottom cushion is going to be more of a, what's that colour? There we go. I'll need to reposition it as well. So just symmetry's off. Let's do a little. just about to start the book actually, but I think I will knock it on the head now and call it a night and resume tomorrow. I feel like I made a good bit of progress tonight anyway though, so that's a good thing. So tomorrow, belt straps, clasps on the skirt, little cross details, a bit more poly painting on the dress and the top, on the clothes generally, poly paint them up more, and then spell book, tail and hair. I'm not quite sure what to do with the hair because as you can see she's got it kind of tied up, or tied back. I can't decide whether to give her like a little ponytail at the back or like a long plait or something like that, or I'm not sure. The structure of the hair is okay. That's not okay. The hair. Oh god, I've painted it in two different things. So with the hair, I need to, we've got like the strands and things like that going on. I know, mate. I said I'm turning it off, didn't I? And I've carried on doing bloody hair. I really want to see her get done now. She's like so close. So close to finishing. Let's actually properly stop there now. No more tinkering, no more fiddling, no more messing, that's it. Done. Take my glasses off, drink the rest of my cold tea, and I'm going to say goodnight and log off, guys. I'll be back on tomorrow. I've got somebody coming to pick up a load of logs. So rather than take them to Tipping Lab and go to waste, somebody's going to be having them for a log burner. Although actually one lady's coming to have some for rabbits to nibble. So, you know, I guess that's a thing. So yeah, I'm going to say goodnight, guys. I'm going to go to bed myself. So all of you have a lovely evening. I hope you all sleep well. And if you're about, come and join me in the morning to see this lady finished. Okay? Right. Cheers, Bunky. Take it easy, mate. Right, everyone. Thanks again, and have a lovely time. I'll catch you tomorrow.